Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Alright, so hello and welcome to Share Elise online tutorials on blogging and web design. So today, as you can see, in the previous videos we've been talking about websites, we've been talking about web design, we've been talking about web development. I've showed you some of the benefits of web design and blogging. And in the most recent video we talked about domain names and domain name extensions and hosting. I showed you shared hosting and dedicated hosting and then cloud hosting. And so today what we're going to be doing is we are going to set up a website. Okay, so we are going to set up a blogging website. We are going to design a blogging website. So before we do that, just as I said, a website has two things. It has a domain name and then it has hosting. Okay, so before we can start designing a website or anything like that, first of all we must be able to purchase a domain name, and then we must be able to purchase a hosting service, okay, from a hosting company before we can do it. So to start with, I want to go to namecheap.com. that is where we want to get our hosting and domain from. So I'm going to show you how it is done. Okay, so let's go to namecheap.com right now. So I'll type namecheap here, and there we go. So now you can see on the screen we have register a domain, okay, name to start. Alright, so I'm gonna click on this, and let's just say I type in Derek, okay, Derek.com. Yeah, so as you can see it's loading over here, and yes, yeah, so there we have it. We have Derek.com, Derek.net, Derek.org, Derek.ai.tv, blah blah blah. And you can see their prices. I think it's still loading, but if as and when it should finish loading, you'll be able to see all the prices over here. So let's wait for it a bit. Okay, so you can see Derek.ai is special, and they are taking $69.98 a year for it. I think that's too much. That's not what I'm even looking for. So it's still loading, I guess, but alright. So I think it says that Derek.com was registered in 1996. So once it's registered, it means we can't purchase it. Okay, it's out of stock. Derek.net is purchased, Derek.org is purchased. So what we have here is Derek.xyz, and that one costs $2,000. It's beyond normal. What we have here is Derek.digital and blah blah blah. So let's just say okay, let me search for another name. Let's say Derek. Let me add something. Let's see how this one goes. Alright, so as you can see, DerekWine.com is available, and it says it's $8.88 per year. So I'm just gonna add to cart. Yeah, so once it's added to the carts, I'm just gonna go up here and and view my cart. Yeah, so it's going to calculate the subtotal, and as you can see, the subtotal here is what it's the subtotal here is $9.06, and let's just say that's around 54 cedis or 55 cedis. So approximately, let's just say 60 cedis. Okay, so this is the usual or the normal price for a domain name that has a .com extension on Namecheap. okay, as Namecheap. So here you can see domain name registration, and I told you the minimum is what, 1 year. So as you can see, the minimum here is 1 year. It says auto renew, but we don't want to put it on auto renew, so it's $8.88 actually, but they have a certain icon fee. As you can see, a certain icon fee here, and it's 0.18. So added to the 8.88 gives us the subtotal of the $9.06, which is approximately 60 cedis, as I said. So here it has a domain privacy enabled, and that's good, and it's free forever. They are not charging us for that, so that is good. So I think that will be that. So if you have a promo code from Namecheap, you can insert your promo code, but we don't have any promo code, so I'm just going to leave this place blank and we're going to move on. So here you're going to click on confirm order if you are satisfied with purchasing the domain name, and this particular process is quite similar for other domain registrars on the internet. Remember yesterday I showed you other domain name registrars such as GoDaddy, Hostinger, and then HostGator. So there are lots of them on the internet, but the process of buying a domain name is similar on such platforms. Okay, so I come in and I click on confirm order. Right, so once I click on confirm order, it says that I should log into my account or create a new account. So if you don't have an account on Namecheap, if you are making a purchase of a domain name from Namecheap, then of course you're going to sign up by typing your username, filling out your password, confirming your password, typing in your first name and what have you. Okay, so that is all you're gonna do. Yeah, so you're gonna create an account over here. So once you're done, you click on create account and continue. But I'm not going to create a new account because I already have an account with Namecheap. So I'm just going to fill out my details over here and log into my already existing account I have with Namecheap. So I'll click on sign in and continue. So it's loading, and yeah, so right here you can see it says pay now, and because I have an account set up with Namecheap already, they have my MasterCard details filled out. So this is my MasterCard. So if before you can be able to make a purchase of a domain name, you have to be using a MasterCard. So I have set up my MasterCard with my Namecheap account already, so there's no need to do that again. So if I want to pay now, I'll just have to click on pay now and I'll be good to go. And I'll scroll down to change my payment details. I want to pay with PayPal. Yeah, so here I'll scroll down and I'll choose PayPal over here. So once I choose PayPal, I just have to click on continue, and it's gonna take me to PayPal. So continue. Alright, so as you can see here, it says check out with PayPal. Yeah, here it says check out with PayPal. So if I click on that, it's going to redirect me to my PayPal account, and I'm going to continue the process of buying this particular domain name from Namecheap. Okay, so I'm not going to buy this because I already have a domain name that I'll be using for this tutorial. So if you come here, you just click on check out with PayPal, and if you have money in your PayPal account or in or with your credit card related to your PayPal account, you'll be able to make a purchase of this domain name. So all that I'm saying is that this is how to purchase a domain name on the internet, and the process of buying a domain name from Namecheap.com is similar across platforms like Hostinger, GoDaddy, HostGator, and all the other domain name registrars on the internet. So I'm not making a purchase right now because I already have one that we are going to be using for this tutorial. So once you have yours purchased, okay, remember you created an account. So once you have your domain name purchased, all that you have to do is to log into your account or into your dashboard. So I'll come up here and it says my account, it says your account. So I'm just going to go to dashboard. So I click on the dashboard. and yes, here it's going to show all the domains I have. So this is the domain name we are going to be using. We are going to be using shireen.xyz. okay, shireen.xyz. And for your information, if you want to just buy a domain for tutorials purposes, okay, just for testing purposes, just buy a domain name that has an extension of .xyz, because .xyz domains don't cost much. Okay, they cost maximum of $1, which is about 5 cedis. So I mean, you can just buy something 5 cedis just to use it for tutorials or for testing purposes. So don't go buying .com when you are just using it for testing purposes. Okay, not for serious business, just for testing purposes. Just go in for .xyz. So we are using the .xyz domain name extension because this is just a tutorials. Yeah, so here, once I've logged into my Namecheap account and I have my shireen.xyz domain name here, I'm just going to go to manage. So I click on manage and it's going to pull it up so that we know how to set this one up. So yeah, so once it's loaded, I'm going to click on advanced DNS. As you can see, I'm going to make my screen a bit lower. So yeah, so once we are in advanced mode here, I'm going to delete all these records. Now let me delete this one. Yes, and let me delete that one too. Yes. Alright, so now once you come to advanced mode, we are going to be creating 2 records for the domain name. Okay, so this is going to help our domain name service connect to our hosting account. So when we are ready and we come back to this page, we are going to be creating 2 records to connect to the hosting account. So now we made a purchase of the domain name and we are ready to connect the domain to the hosting. Okay, so I'm going to open a new window here, and then we are going to go to a place like Namecheap themselves. They have a hosting. Yeah, so you see on top here it says hosting, so you see shared hosting. Let me click on shared hosting. Yeah, so with the shared hosting plans, you can see that Namecheap has a stellar shared hosting account. They offer it at $1.58 per month, and it's for 1 year. So for 1 year you're going to be paying $18.44 for 1 whole year of this shared hosting service that they are offering you. And they have Stellar Plus, that one is $2.68 per month, and that one you're going to be paying $31.84 for a whole year. So these are all shared hosting services. Now I'm saying that for starter websites or for beginner websites, using shared hosting services is good, because at that time you don't need a lot of storage space. So as you can see here, this Stellar shared hosting offers us 20 gigabytes storage space, and you can host up to 3 websites on it. It has inclusive domain name inclusive, and it has free content delivery network. Okay, so as you can see, 20 gigabyte is good for a starter website or for a beginner website. And if you look at the Stellar Plus hosting shared hosting service that they offer, you can see it has unlimited SSD, so unlimited storage space. It has unlimited website that you can host. It has auto backup functionality. It has domain name inclusive and free CDN, which is of course in beta mode. So if you want to purchase any of this hosting for your website, you just have to click on. So let's choose this one. Let's click on get started. And once you click on get started, you're going to say, do you want to connect a new domain name to this hosting, or you're going to choose an existing domain name to this hosting. So once you select an existing domain name, that means you would have to log into your account to be able to use an existing domain name. Other than that, you would have to go to new domain name and go to new purchase, and make a purchase of that domain name so that you can be able to connect it to your shared hosting account. But I have a cloud hosting on Cloudways, so I'm not going to purchase another hosting from here, okay? But it's quite simple and it's quite similar across all the hosting companies on the internet. You just go, you click on hosting, whether shared hosting or VPS hosting, WordPress hosting, dedicated service. Once you click on them, they will pull up their services and you'll be able to make a purchase using your MasterCard or your PayPal account. So I'm just gonna skip this one and go to my hosting platform. That one is Cloudways. I'm just going to type platform.cloudways.com and it even pops up, so I just click on that. So once I'm at cloudways.com, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to log into my account on Cloudways so that I'll be able to connect my hosting with my domain. So I just log in. As you can see, I have my details already entered, so I just click on login and it logs me in. Yeah, so let's wait for it a bit. Loading. Yeah, so there we have it. So as you can see, I have 2 servers on this cloud hosting account. So as you can see right over here, I can add a server here. So I already have 2 servers here, so I'm not going to add any other server. So I'm just going to choose this server, which is named your server. Okay, so I'll click on your server and the server would open. Yeah, so once I click on my server, I'm going to select my server IP address. So here it says public IP. I'm just going to click on it and it copies, and then I'll go back to Namecheap. Okay, I'll go back to my domain. I told you we'll be setting up 2 records here. So the first of the records is an A record. Okay, so we create an A record and then we'll create a CNAME record. So to create an A record on Namecheap, I'll just go here and click on add new record, and from the list of the drop down I'll choose A record, and at the host place I'm just going to choose this @ sign or type the @ sign over there, and here in the value place I'm going to paste the IP address I copied, and then my TTL, that is the amount of seconds or the amount of time it will take for the domain to do a propagation throughout the whole of the internet. I'll set it to automatic as it is, and I'll just click on save changes. So now we have created our A record, and I'm going to create another record called CNAME record. So I'll scroll through this list and I'll find CNAME record and I'll click on that. And for the CNAME record, the host is not going to be this @ symbol, it's going to be www, and the target is going to be the domain name we bought. Okay, so we have domain name Shireen.xyz. Okay, so that is the domain name we are using to connect to the server. So my TTL is still going to remain as automatic, and I'm just going to take save changes. Alright, so now we've been able to save changes to this IP address on my server. So I'll go back to Cloudways. Once I'm on Cloudways, I'm going to go to my Shireen application that is already created on Cloudways. Yeah, so here I'll go to domain management, click on domain management, and I'll come to primary domain. So on primary domain I'm going to type Shireen.xyz, and then I'm going to add another domain as www.shireen.xyz, and I'll save changes. Now again, one thing you must note is that this is how to set up domain name from Namecheap with a Cloudways hosting account. Okay, the process from platform to platform differs, but it is similar. So what I'm doing on Cloudways right now, connecting the domain to the hosting server, it's different when you go to Hostinger, when you go to GoDaddy, when you go to HostGator, and all the other domain name registrars and hosting companies on the internet. Okay, but this process of connecting them is similar. Okay, I can't show you all of them, but just follow this process, and once you find yourself with a domain name registrar or with a hosting company, the process of connecting them is similar to this one. And anytime you find lapses or you lack anything, just perform a search on YouTube or on Google and you'll be able to find a way to go about it. So just know that this process is similar, but it's not going to be the same on all hosting platforms. It's just going to be similar. So once I have my primary domain set up, I'm going to go back to access details, and here I have my URL to my WordPress dashboard over here. So one thing I'll do, okay, so now let's go to Sharon.xyz, and yeah, it says the site cannot be reached. Okay, so now the site cannot be reached because the domain name we connected to the hosting account has to take a certain amount of time before it can propagate throughout the whole of the internet. Okay, and normally it takes around 24 to 48 hours before it does a full propagation. So after connecting your domain name to your hosting account and you encounter this error, you try going to your website and you encounter this error as the site cannot be reached, then it simply means that you just have to take your time, close it, go and sleep, go and have some snacks, and come back tomorrow after 24 to 48 hours. The domain name is going to do a propagation throughout the whole of the internet, and by the time you come back tomorrow after 24 to 48 hours, you will be able to see your website coming. So right now I'm going to have some popcorn and come back when this site is showing up, so that we log into the admin dashboard and then we start setting up the website. So see you after having some snacks.